The existence of God is now a fact, not a belief. So back in the day, the church got into an argument with the scientists. Horrible things were done, but science fought, and the purpose of science initially, minus inventions and bettering of human existence, easier life for humans, was to prove or disprove the existence of God. So with the advancements of X-ray telescopes, look, first we need to establish what is truth and what is not, and science did that. Observable, what can be observed through the eye over and over again with the same results is considered fact. What can be proven through mathematics and through experiments over and over again with the same result is considered fact. Okay? That is the grounding for truth for everybody on the earth. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. If it's been scientifically proven over and over again, and again, that also says that it's not biased by man's desire and man's outcome. It has to be done by a scientist who's not on either side. So when you approach it, you have to approach it with a mind that's free of bias, because you could easily use science to manipulate into doing something evil. So if the person who's giving you the science has evil intentions and they're trying to manipulate your mind into believing something or into taking power or something, then the science can be evil. But we're talking about non-biased science. So when we look at the advancement in the telescopes, the Hubble telescope, where we got the deep field view of all the galaxies in the universe, that's not biased. There's no evil intention. So the Hubble telescope images of the universe are real. Before that, we didn't have telescope images of the known universe. We were going off mathematics, off observable science and observable things. So now the next thing is the X-ray telescopes. So they theorized the Big Bang. When I was in elementary school in science, they had theorized the Big Bang, but they didn't have enough evidence to prove it. But they had, theoretically, it was a theory. With the invention of the X-ray telescopes, they were able to look back into the universe, basically back in time, to see heat signatures from the beginning of creation. And now they have basically proven beyond a reason of a doubt that the universe came into existence. And again, I say universe because I'm not even talking about the multiverse yet. The universe came into existence from an infinitely dense, infinitely small, infinitely hot beginning, origin. So that's proven. So if that's proven, well, then the next question is, well, where did that come from? Because science has also proven energy can't be created or destroyed. So the matter had to come from somewhere. So where did it come from? Well, that leaves two possibilities. One possibility is this universe was created by random, by some kind of a pre-existing matter that's unintelligent, that just happened to create a universe and a multiverse. So either it was created by accident, or some kind of an intelligent engineer had to engineer it. Now, the laws, the scientific laws, the laws of thermodynamics, the laws of the time continuum, the laws of the speed of light, the laws of gravity, we could go on and on with the laws. Every single one of the laws that are scientifically proven as factual laws are correct to the decimal. And we're talking about to the millionth and billionth and trillionth of a decimal. In one number, there's an infinite amount of numbers because you can keep going back in decimals. If one of the laws were off by 0.0001 to the trillionth decimal, the universe wouldn't work. If the speed of light was off 1 trillionth of a decimal, it wouldn't work. If the law of gravity was off 1 trillionth of a decimal, it wouldn't work. If the laws of thermodynamics were off, it wouldn't work. So these laws are proven. You can't deny that. That's the whole purpose of science, is to say, look, this is a fact. You cannot deny this. If you're denying those facts, you're denying science and the foundation of truth and knowledge as we know it as human species. Okay? So if you're denying those facts, then you go ahead and you try to go back to the beginning of science and disprove science when they were arguing about these things to begin with, 1,000 years ago. All right? So this isn't the year 1020 anymore. All right? So then the fact that these laws are so perfect and that there's so many of them proves that it was created by something intelligent. It's mathematically proven. The mathematical likeliness of this universe being created by accident and not by something that was intelligent are so small that they're basically impossible. You understand? The odds of it being created by something intelligent, that there was some kind of an intelligence that designed all of the laws that make the universe and the multiverse function, the odds of that happening are 99.99999 to the trillionth power. So it's basically mathematically impossible that this universe was not created or engineered by something that had intelligence. I call that intelligence God. Now, that is the scientifically proven thing. Now, when we try to debate this with people, first of all, the debates, I haven't seen a debate on television. All the debates, all they're doing is just throwing mud at each other and lying to each other, because the motives of the debaters are for their own personal power. So, Vincent, what's your motive? My motive is to alleviate suffering through wisdom. That is my motive. So my debates aren't so much clogged with all the greed and the this and the that. They want the money, they want the this. I want to prove or expand the human knowledge and education for the betterment of humankind to alleviate suffering. So that's my motive. So do I have a biased motive in the debate? That is my biased motive in the debate. But watch what happens when we get into the debate here with some of the atheists. Because for me, the science has proven the fact that it was created by an intelligent creator like 10 years ago. So I thought it was done 10 years ago, but it's still out there. People are still... After you prove scientifically that the universe is created by something intelligent, then there has to be some kind of a conjecture between a relationship between you and God. Now, if you're denying a relationship between you and the intelligence that created the beginning of this universe, then I consider that to be ignorance. Because you're denying something that's been proven by science. I'm not going to argue about who or what the definition of God is, because as soon as you realize that there's something that's intelligent that engineered this universe, it becomes, well, how did God exist? And are there many gods? Are there beings that are higher than us? I'm not even going to get into that conversation, because if the science isn't there yet, so you can't prove that. So I'm not changing the subject into that. We're talking about the basic science proving that there is some kind of an intelligent being that created this universe. When we get into the debate, if you look at the debate that's on the YouTube, as soon as you talk about that fact, the people who do not believe in God they switch the subject and then they name call. Now, when you're in a debate, you can disprove the person who's debating with you. That's one of the ways to win the debate. But all of the other arguments, they're presenting different arguments. I haven't seen God. God is just a conjecture. God is this. Those are all different arguments. All of those arguments bottle into the science. It took thousands of years for the scientists to prove the mathematics and the existence of the creator because of all of the previous arguments that are being presented. You understand? So there's no point in going into these arguments, and every single one of them are getting off topic and going to a place where they're all of the other arguments are irrelevant now at this point. That's what the advance in the science is. So to sum it up, the universe has been proven mathematically to have been engineered by something with intelligence. Whatever it is that engineered this multiverse, I call that God. And God, I'm sure, has many names in many different times periods in many different languages. But a 3-letter word is a pretty easy way for a being that created an infinite amount of laws in a multiverse with a word for a monkey to understand. Now, here's the thing. Guys, we're somewhat monkey, okay? I think that we have to accept that, science has brought back to, monkeys and evolution, things like that, which is a whole nother topic. But the thing is, As soon as I started talking about, look, if you want to understand more than what I'm saying, the yogis go into states of deep meditation in which you become one with God. So the intellectual knowledge is one thing. As soon as you add the intellectual knowledge in with a spiritual practice of devout meditation and concentration and focus on God, you can have God realization. Now, as soon as I say God realization, that's a science. This is not something it's not belief. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Belief is like, oh yeah, I believe that this happens, but I have no proof. No. At this point, God has been scientifically proven, and if you don't believe the science behind it, then present your argument that the sciences that have proved this are wrong, because I've studied it every single kind of way, and the science was built so that it couldn't be proven wrong. And now you're trying to argue that the science is there. So that's ignorance. That's ignorance. Question, comments, leave below. God bless us all.